January 6th, 2025. Today we had essentially an endless pullback, and really you can go through the day and talk about it, but the most important thing that starts to happen is right here when you start to get the endless pullback. And one of the signs that it's going to turn into something like this is, well, there's a couple. One of the big ones is if the channel down is really tight. So I pay a lot of attention to what the pullback looks like and how much energy it seems to have. So if you're getting a pullback, in whatever the context is, this is a blanket statement. Obviously, there's exceptions to rules, but especially in the stock market. But this is a pretty tight channel down, and so when I would spend a lot of time just looking at channels and deciphering tight channels versus broad channels, because when you start to get a tight channel down after a rally that if you look at it, you think, oh, well, it was a pretty good rally. You're starting to think that. But the reality is there's not really any good bull moves in here. There's nothing that made me think it was going to be a small pullback bull trend day. We didn't really have any open gaps either. You could argue we had some sort of gap in here somewhere, maybe one open gap, but there really wasn't clarity on multiple open gaps, and there really wasn't that good of a move up in the first place. So you get a move up or down that doesn't look all that great, and the reversal is a tight channel. That is something to pay a lot of attention to, and I think that's really important. And for me today, I did not take any trades for the first essentially 30 plus bars. I thought that the rally was probably limited, and so I decided I would just rather wait. And if it decided to do this all day, I was just going to be happy to sit out of it. I shorted below 35, and I exited. I think I exited part down here. The reason I sold 35 was because I know that this is a reasonably tight channel down. And I also know that this rally up is not as strong as it might appear. So I was thinking that we should not get a bull bar that requires a second leg if this sell-off is to work. So I sold below 35, and the management was pretty easy. I was just going to exit if we got any good-looking bull bar closing on our nearest high. And we obviously never got it. And I ended up hitting my profit target somewhere down here. So I shorted here. I got out somewhere in here. And then obviously we kept going to the downside, which I didn't think was all that likely. I thought that this was more likely a final flag and that we'd start a trading range. But obviously we got a downside breakout. And then I took a pretty sensitive trade. I bought above 57, basically taking a chance that 58 was going to be a big bull bar. And when it wasn't, I got out at break even during 59. So I ended up getting out. So I bought here and then I got out over here. You cannot buy above 57 and just hold. That's not a good trade. If you're taking counter trend trades in general, they're going to need really good follow through. So taking a buy like 57, you have to have a really good calibrated expectation, and you're expecting the follow through bar to be really good. I was taking a chance we were going to essentially get a vacuum test of the moving average and this high. And when we did not get it on 58, I just decided to get out, and that's what you should be doing. Had I held buying above 57, I know what bar makes you think you're going to get stopped out. If you buy above 57, what's the bar that you're thinking, oh no, I might get trapped? 60. So for me, I bought here and I exited, and then I looked at 60, and I know 60 is a good sell because I've held, quite frankly, because I've bought this before and just held and gotten stopped out. I've done that a million times before. So I know that selling below 60, we're going to at least get to this low. So I took the short below 60 and scalped out, and that was pretty much it for me today. But really, I'm not making a long video today. I just have some stuff going on. So I'll probably make a normal video tomorrow. Sorry, my computer is just being a little frozen right now. Let me pause the video. Okay, so anyways, like I was saying, I'll probably make a longer video tomorrow. But really, the main takeaway from this video, there's a million different contexts in the stock market, but this is one that I think is important to get down, because this is essentially reading the strength of the pullback, because a lot of traders, they'll see this and they'll think it's a pullback, and it very well might be. But you have to think about how far could the pullback go? Well, we have the 13 and the 14 low, so it could come to here. Okay, what's it going to look like if this is going to get another leg up? Well, it's probably not going to get this continuous tight channel down and some sort of move. So for me, I think that when you get these types of pullbacks and you don't have a strong trend with open gaps, you can, how should I phrase this? I'm trying to think of a sentence to leave it with. And I think it would be when you have a move that is not that strong, and then the pullback is a reasonably tight channel, you can expect that you're going to get, or not necessarily expect, but you can take a trade assuming that you're going to get something like this. And the sign that you are not going to get something like this would be a bull bar or an opposite bar closing that's going to need a second leg. So in the future, if you see this, let's say in 6 months, you see this exact same pattern, and then we start to sell off, and you say, okay, well, I remember that video, so I'm going to sell below 35. Great. And then 37 closes on its high. Well, now that's a bull bar that needs a second leg, so you probably have to get out above that bar. But as long as the bar does not require a second leg, it's okay to stay in. That essentially is the entire premise of always in trading, is as long as the other side doesn't need a second leg, you can stay in the trade. So I think that's pretty important. But all right, like I said, this is just going to be a short video today. I'll probably make a longer one tomorrow. Actually, I might not. I have a doctor's appointment tomorrow, so there might be a video tomorrow. I have no idea. We'll see. But anyways, all right. Thank you.